From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
Kent's Meats and Grocery is much more than a grocery store. We carry a full line of quality meats, local and organic vegetables, and a large variety of fish, Green Mountain Smart Control pellet grills, and a full deli case of sandwiches and side dishes.
Well, today was kind of that last little, ray of hope of temperatures not getting too terribly hot. We are looking kind of the last day today of temperatures around normal for this time of year, which the normal for the valley is about 100 degrees. But by tomorrow, we're going to notice an increase. And you're really going to notice it over the weekend, which is when the heat wave will peak. There's also the potential for some record-breaking heat, which we'll get into that in a second, and who has the best chances. And it won't be as hot, though, for next week. So we at least have some relief in the forecast. Now, we look at all these colors, we look at all the time frames. Here's the bottom line. The advisories and the warnings are basically for the weekend. Now, it'll be as early as tomorrow that we'll feel the heat, but the heat will be biggest over the weekend. And we look at our planner here for your Friday, we're already starting to see it. We're not quite 110 degrees, but it'll be close. Places like Redding and Red Bluff and Chico, about 107 degrees for your Friday. And for the mountains, it's warming up too. Some of us may even touch 100 degrees. Places like Mount Shasta, Etna could, not to mention Susanville and Paradise. Bernie about 97 for that high for your Friday. Now, here's the trend. I was talking about the normal high in the valley is about 100. Well, that's what we've got here. That's what that blue line is here, that 100-degree mark. That's the normal high. Yeah, I know. It's the normal high. 109 degrees for Friday, but see how it peaks over the weekend. So temperatures are going to start to increase over the weekend before we see a drop. Now, it's still going to be rather hot on Monday, but you can see we're dropping. And you look at the trend here, and you go into Thursday of next week, we may see another uptick in those temperatures. We'll kind of have to wait and see what that trend brings us, but yeah, it looks like maybe toward the end of next week, we could be looking at another bit of a warming trend. All right, let's talk about the highs. As we go into Friday, the record high for the Redding Airport is 115 on Friday, 116 on Saturday, and 117 on Sunday. All those years, by the way, 1972, that's going to be a big year. But look at the highs that we have forecast. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. None of them are really getting too terribly close to those records. So I don't anticipate to break any records, at least for Redding. Take a look at Mount Shasta City. Yeah, we could break your record for tomorrow. We could break your record on Saturday, not to mention Sunday. And quite honestly, look at these records. They're quite easy, especially to break that is, especially when you look at the temperatures we're going to see over the weekend. How about Alturas? Well, I don't think you're going to break it for Friday, but Saturday will be close as well as Sunday. But you'll see no record breakers there. And for Susanville, I don't think you're going to break it for Friday, but you see as we go into Saturday and Sunday, I think a better chance on Saturday. It's going to be quite close on Sunday. So you get the idea. We're talking about the potential for some record-breaking heat for some of us, but not everyone. So is this an outstanding, phenomenal, amazing heat wave? Yeah, it's hot, but I don't think we're going to shatter records by any stretch of the imagination. Now you can see here as we go into Saturday, Sunday, yeah, it's hot. Temperatures over 110 degrees for the valley. But the good news is this is moving out, but behind it is a much more organized and stronger trough of low pressure, cooler trough of low pressure. And what that's doing is it kind of pushes to the south and east, it also pushes that heat out of here. So we see temperatures begin to drop, and we see cooler temperatures through next week. Now, we're also tracking the monsoon moisture. Yeah, typically this time of the year, you have the heat, this big dome of high pressure over the desert Southwest, and there is typically monsoon moisture associated with that. And so you a lot of times see those afternoon thunderstorms in the desert Southwest, and then they die down as we go into the morning hours. So what happens is this ridge of high pressure, the monsoon moisture associated with it all, the heat and everything, it all kind of goes back and forth. And we see these heat waves, then we see temperatures drop. All right, so that's kind of the pattern that we're seeing. But many times, as we get the perfect positioning of that high pressure, you get the upper level flow around that high, and it can pick up monsoon moisture and then transport it over Northern California. And as a result, we look at higher humidity levels. So it'll probably feel more muggy around here come Sunday and Monday, but it's also bringing the potential for some mountain thunderstorms, especially for the Northern Sierra. All right, let's get you to the forecast here as we get into the weekend here. This is what it looks like. If you're heading out to the Trinity County Fair, well, for Friday, yeah, it's going to be hot with a high of 103, but even hotter over the weekend with highs around 107, 108. So yes, it's going to be warming up. Tonight, we're dropping down into the upper 50s, low 60s for the valley, and for the mountains in the upper 50s and low 60s as well. Really, actually not a very big temperature spread from the valley to the mountains. But the highs for Friday, yeah. All right, we're starting to feel it. We've been talking about this heat wave all week long. We've been talking about it even since last week. Looks like it'll finally be here by tomorrow. 109 for Redding, Red Bluff, and 107 for Chico. There you can see about 95 for Alturas. Could get up to about 100 degrees for Wairika, Etna, and Mount Shasta City. All right, speaking of Mount Shasta, there's your 7-day forecast. Over 100 degrees by Saturday, Sunday. And then as we go to Monday through next week, temperatures start to drop. And you'll notice that drop for everyone in the mountains, Alturas and Susanville as well. Now, for the valley, we'll also see that drop, but it's going to be slower to happen. It's still going to be pretty hot on Monday, but we're down to closer to normal by Tuesday, Wednesday, and yes, maybe another increase in those temperatures by next Thursday.